All new at 6 in some places in Haywood County. The reminder of last year's devastation can still be seen.
And 1 year ago today, the remnants of Tropical Storm Fred brought devastating and deadly flooding, and some people are still left without a permanent home. Fox Carolina's Chief Meteorologist Kendra Kent, Zach Prelutsky, joins us from Haywood County with the story of a man who is taking it one day at a time, despite losing almost everything 1 year ago. Kendra.
That's right. You know, we're outside of Pigeon River Outfitters. This was one of the businesses that was hugely impacted by this flood. You know, we got about a foot of rain out of Tropical Storm Fred, and here it flooded all the way up to 6.9 feet, well above my head. And you can imagine what level of damage that did. We got to see it firsthand last year. It was nearly $500,000 worth of damage to things like the rafts, the canoes here that were lost, and luckily they've rebuilt. But I know, Zach, you got to talk to the owner, Charles Wells. I know it's been a long year for him.
Yeah, Charles was actually in Charlotte the night that Tropical Storm Fred rolled through, and when he got back to Haywood County, he found that his business here and his home were destroyed. Driving around Haywood County, the lasting impacts of Tropical Storm Fred are still here.
We spent pretty much everything that we had, and plus some, in order to get back up and running to where we are now.
Charles Wells runs Pigeon River Outfitters in the heart of downtown Canton. We first met Charles a couple days after the storm while he was cleaning up. Now his business is back open and is on track to grow from last year.
Spent 2 weeks here trying to get, the business cleaned up, trying to just jump in and help out with, surrounding businesses every way that we possibly could, including our own. 2 weeks after the flood, I hadn't even made it up to the house yet, and 2 weeks after the flood, I received a call from my neighbor wanting to know if I knew that my house was gone. So I didn't even know my house was gone until 2 weeks after the flood happened.
365 days after the storm, Charles still doesn't have a permanent home.
It's not what I had, but it's home, so makes me want to cry, and especially it's been a long, rough year.
This story is not a unique one in the Crusoe community.
We thank everybody for their help. We thank everybody for their prayers. God knows that's what got us all through it. And we ask for their continued support and prayers, because unfortunately, like you were mentioning about the Crusoe area, it's still a long way from being fully refurbished.
Charles is living in a rental property while his new home is being worked on.
In fact, all this dirt was about this high.
The price he is paying to get the business back up.
I have a business to rebuild and I have a home to rebuild. I have, 5 full-time employees that relies on a paycheck from me to feed their families. I can either feed one family and get myself back in a home, or else I can take care of 5 families and then worry about myself. And that's just the way I was brought up and raised.
In the years and months before the flood, Charles lost his mom, brother, grandfather, and dog. He also started to get burnout from being a respiratory therapist during the COVID-19 pandemic, but keeps moving forward every day with a smile.
It's a 4-letter word, H-O-M-E, home. And that's what Haywood County is, that's what Canton is, and that's what Crusoe is.
Now, Charles still doesn't know when he's going to be able to get back in his home, but he's hopeful that it could happen in the next few months.
And we really hope so. And it's, we're just so touched, both of us, being here several times, seeing the spirit of this community. We'll actually be heading over to the memorial dinner after this, talking to more folks about how they've been impacted, where they stand a year later, and you'll see more of that coming up on the 10 o'clock news. But live from Canton, sending it back to you.